Welcome everyone to today's video where we embark on a journey of self-discovery and career alignment. Have you ever felt lost in your career? Unsure if you are on the right path? Or perhaps you are at a crossroads trying to figure out what truly resonates with your personality and interests. If so, you are not alone. Many of us struggle to find our true selves and align our careers accordingly. In this video, we will be sharing our personal journey of self-discovery and how we use the mini personality test as a starting point to uncover our true selves. This test provided us with insights into our personality traits, strengths, and weaknesses, helping us understand ourselves better. I'll also discuss how we use these insights to explore various career paths and ultimately find one that aligns perfectly with who we are. So grab a pen and paper, take notes, and let's embark on this journey together. It is time to discover our true selves and find a career that brings us fulfillment and joy.
Absolutely. Very nice introduction. And yeah, this was, pretty interesting. We took this personality test last week.
Mhm.
After some previous discussions, we thought, what the heck? We read through it, or we did the questionnaire, and we went through kind of all the introductory material. And by the end, and I don't think we were necessarily like, hey, let's just. We thought, let's take it, right, and see what happens. And um, by the end, we were like, hey, what is the premium subscription? We dove into it. So there's additional information, like you touched on.
Mhm.
We got a better understanding, a better understanding of our individual personalities, our strengths and our weaknesses. And now we're gonna kind of go through the course here. Not gonna kind of. We're going to go through the course here
With you guys.
with you guys and learn more about ourselves, learn more about each other, and ultimately strengthen our relationship, our family, and our careers and our future.
And on the way, help you guys if you need help.
On the way, you
There you
guys are
go.
welcome to join us. So hopefully, the point would be that you guys would get some value out of this, and
And enjoy
just
the
like we do,
journey.
yeah,
Yeah,
enjoy the journey. So
there you go. So, can I start with your introduction?
yeah, so my personality came out as the commander. Um, that was interesting. There was a lot of things that I agreed with, a lot of things that I didn't like initially. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
thought were me, but the more I thought through them, things fit. I've, in my opinion, there's definitely some strong wording in here. So some of the stuff makes it sound like it's really really strong, and that's where I kind of think, hey, these are some areas maybe to work on, maybe some areas to whether it's a weakness or a strength. So the commander. Throughout the academy, we discuss how the commander's traits manifest themselves into this complete personality type. The interactions between these traits result in a unique set of behaviors that are examined concerning their effects on personal growth, friendship, parenthood, romantic relationships, and academic and professional development. The following paragraphs are a brief overview of the commander personality type. Each section is explored in much greater detail in subsequent courses. Personal growth. As analysts, commanders have a strong affinity for logic and creativity, but they also display unique qualities of their judging and extroversion traits. They like to act decisively. Commanders don't stop at hypothetical scenarios and thought experiments, using their imaginations to create the groundwork for purposeful, immediate applications as well as elaborate projects down the line. These types are less prone to imaginative distractions than other analysts, making them energetic, visionary, and, in a word, intense. They strongly express their ideas, but aren't as easily flexible when encountering alternate or conflicting ways of thinking.
I think I agree with that one.
You think so?
Yes, I tend to see uh, especially the last paragraph there where it says, whenever it conflicts with what you are trying to do or the decision that you have taken or made, it's hard for you to listen to other people's advice at that point. You're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
focused
You
and you
get
want to get
a
it done.
you get on a train of thought and you're working on it, and that's where it is. And like it says here, they strongly express their ideas, but they aren't easily flexible when encountering alternate or conflicting ways of thinking.
Yeah, and I definitely have seen you in conversations too where it's hard to deviate from what you're.
Yeah. So these types truly revel in shaping their environment, but they also benefit from practicing openness, sharing their ideas, and in turn, learning from others. Bold and often blunt in word and deed, commanders who balance their expressions of will with concern for the needs of others invite mutual respect and that promotes achievement and intellectual growth instead of authoritarianism. These types' appreciation of discipline helps them temper their sometimes fierce natures with inquisitiveness, kindness, and objectivity about their limits, and such personal growth is a worthy lifelong challenge for all commanders.
I agree with that too. And we talked about it a little bit about the bluntness, when it comes into play. I know that you didn't agree too much with it or not so much, but after thinking about it, we said that you tend to accumulate things and you're not verbal at that moment. But then once, situations start piling up, then you're very blunt about
Yeah,
it
I could be
at the
very,
end.
very blunt. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I think it's pretty close. Again, maybe it's just my personality kind of pushing back on some of the ideas. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Why don't you do your
Okay.
introduction then for the logistician?
All right. So my personality type, guys, is logistician. And who is a logistician? Throughout the academy, we will discuss how logisticians' traits manifest themselves into the complete personality type. The interactions between these traits results in unique set of behaviors that will be examined in terms of their effects on personal growth, relationships, and academic and professional development. The following paragraphs are a brief overview of the logistician personality type, and each section will be explored in much greater detail in subsequent courses. So I am going to go into the personal growth. So, at 13% of the population, depending on the region, logisticians are the most common of the 16 personality types. They provide a strong foundation for society with their reliability and meticulousness. The world needs structured and dependable individuals to keep things running smoothly, and logisticians excel at doing just that. And I do agree with that.
Yeah, I would too.
As with their fellow sentinels, who all possess the judging trait, the logisticians have an affinity for order and integrity. With the addition of the thinking trait, the logistician's personal motto can be most adequately summarized as only the facts, please. That's totally me. This works out well as these qualities give them the ability to both accumulate and retain a significant amount of factual information. In addition to facts, logisticians respect traditions and do their best to adhere to existing rules and guidelines. In some cases, this attachment can be so strong that they will not break the rules, even when the consequences for breaking them pale in comparison to what could happen if those rules were allowed or followed. Structure and stability are vital for this type, as they go to almost any lengths to achieve and maintain these ideals. While they may be devoted to tradition, stability, and structure, logisticians are very good at implementing new ideas once there is enough evidence that is worth it. Their attention to detail, ability to maintain focus, and perseverance make logisticians nearly unstoppable when implementing a worthy change of process. They consider it their duty to establish and maintain a smooth operation. That's me right there. Once a change has been made, however, they can display significant resistance when it becomes necessary to consider an alternative theory or idea, forcing yet another change. I think that that's right in line with who I am. So the downside to their fact-driven, meticulous nature is a tendency to become stubborn and close-minded. That's me. In an unbalanced state, logisticians can become obsessed with upholding the rules to the point where protecting institutions become more important than protecting individual rights. Diplomacy or an attempt to appeal to concerns that others may have about those rules or institutions are skills that can be learned and ultimately help logisticians to become more nuanced and more capable, a true demonstration of their commitment. So let you review.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, it's definitely, I think, at least in those opening paragraphs, where you have two personalities that are very different, yet do share a common trait there on having an idea of the way things should go,
Mhm.
but they're different ways and they're different ideas. So we can both be stubborn in the way that we see the path,
Mhm.
and that has probably caused us to talk to each other and not with each other, or talk at each other instead of to each other for a long time. And just
Yeah.
understanding that, not that people don't have their own, everybody
Disagreements
has
or
their own,
yeah.
well, everybody has their own way of looking at things, but we have two very different personalities, so we
Mhm.
see the world very differently, and we're both very strong-willed against flexibility in that kind of way, I think. So,
Yeah,
or
I
new
agree with
ideas or
you.
things like that. So it's interesting.